Hi, welcome to the Sea Monster interview with Sai.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So you have a new release coming out, Stay a While, and I went back and listened to your album, of course.
Oh, thank you.
Sweet Beautiful Music. I was actually kind of surprised because when I listened to the single first, I thought that was going to be the majority of like what your catalogue was going to sound like. But I feel like with Sweet Beautiful Music, it is a bit more electronic, like dance pop, whereas like this is more of an indie single. Was that an intentional thing? Like, did you want to put out something that was slightly more indie?
Well, I mean, I always try and say everything's intentional, but I don't know. It was just more of an idea that people are going to gravitate towards it, and we're going to be, it's a bit of a familiar sound, so people are gonna, when they hear it, they'll go, oh, okay, straight away, rather than going, okay, this is a bit of a throwback, let me get used to it. It's more of an obvious thing, and I will say it's intentional, but I don't think it really was, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I noticed though you still had some vocal effects which seem like very you, considering like with Sweet Beautiful Music you use a lot of vocal effects. So I feel like it still had that continuation of you, but you kind of explored something a bit new with the indie sound. And I will say it was a bit more tender than, like, obviously Sweet Beautiful Music had a lot of songs about love and stuff, but I just felt like this was a bit more tender. Do you feel like with writing music about love, I love asking people who write about love. I know that people think that everyone writes about love, but I feel like there are specific people that really like hone in on it. And I feel like when you write a song about love, is it like the day that it like gets put out or you start performing at live heaps that you kind of start to separate yourself from like the original like connection you had with the song? Like when you first write it about that person, it obviously has that original meaning, but then as time goes on, do you feel like it kind of grows into something else, or do you feel like it still connects with that person that you wrote it about?
I like that question. It's quite good. I will say on the first album there are some songs there that are about someone, and you kind of gravitate towards more cliched lyrics, so that kind of personality gets taken away a little bit more. Especially that album, maybe the first half of it's very much you're kind of singing to a bigger picture rather than to one person. But this time around, I mean, that song was written very recently, as in a week and a half ago.
Wait,
as
what?
Stay
a While?
Yeah.
You wrote that a week ago?
Yeah. So in terms of playlist pushing and proper release plans and things like that, I didn't do it, but I just wrote it in a day, recorded it on the same day, and then finished it off the next day. So it was
What the hell?
And I didn't sleep for that whole time. So it was about 36 hours. So with that one, I'm still very much...
So this is very fresh for you?
Very fresh, yeah.
Jesus. I feel like when I talk to most people who release music, it's like, yeah, like I've had this song for like a year. I've kind of emotionally removed myself from the song. So do you still feel really close to the song?
Yeah.
Shit.
I mean, I'm still... Because it's so new, I mean, with my songs, the older songs, you just kind of go, oh, I know what's coming up. You know, you have your little production elements that you go, oh, that's coming up here. But with this one, I still have that freshness about it where you just, oh, didn't know I could write that kind of thing. And you sit there, you go, oh, this is new. And you kind of detach yourself from you writing the song, and you just sit back and listen to it and go, oh, I like it. It's fresh. It's good.
Yeah. When you think you'll, like, will you perform it next week when you have your live show, or do you think you'll hold off?
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you, like, I just can't imagine a song being that fresh and being able to perform it and not feel, like, emotional about it. I don't know.
I mean, it's not an overly sad song. It's more of a bittersweet thing. So it's it's more of a, well,
I guess maybe feeling too vulnerable. Because, like, I feel like it's, like, even though you're right, it's not really sad, but surely you feel kind of exposed because you still feel like you just wrote it.
True. I'm kind of okay with it. I don't,
Okay,
I'm, if it's vulnerable, then it's vulnerable, but, you know, the people that have needed to hear it before it comes out have heard it, and, yeah, I'm not hiding with it. Just how I feel. And even at the gig, I'll probably say something along those lines about, you know, oh, this song's written about this, and I don't care, you know.
Yeah.
It'll just be fun.
Yeah, that's good. It's good to be courageous in love and music.
Oh, sometimes.
Do you feel like to put out an album as kind of like, because did you put anything out before that?
I did under a different name, but it was a bit how you going.
So you just kind of like dabbled, tested the waters, and then you came out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like some people like to do that because they feel like they want to like start over in a way, which you kind of have that privilege when it's like you've just started. You can kind of do a do-over.
Yeah.
But to come out with an album, like, was that like stressful? Because I feel like a lot of people get really fixated on like the story they want to tell and like do they want to leave the album for like later on in their career?
I mean, that album was written very quickly. It's very temperamental. I was living up in Forestville, Northern Beaches.
Yeah.
And it was during so maybe 2 out of the 11 songs were written beforehand, but the rest of them were written within maybe 6 weeks.
Wow.
And just wouldn't sleep very much. It's a common thing for me, but would you know, wake up at some ridiculous hour in the afternoon, do a bit of production, and then save my vocals for 4 a.m. or something, and then write. And I had a lot of things I wanted to say, so it didn't really become something that I thought about too much. Oh, when should I put this out? It was always going to be an album. It was always going to be more than 6 or 7 songs. It was going to be, I've got some things I want to say, and I feel like with that one I can, because I've put out songs before and I've looked back on them going, oh, but not...
Like under your previous...
Yeah, okay. And I'm going, oh, what have I done? But with this one, it's just 11 songs or 10 songs.
What didn't you like about those previous songs?
It was the mixes.
Okay.
And also the lyrics are a bit questionable in some places.
Way? Like cringy?
Yeah, I can say that, right? But a lot of them were kind of shrouded in metaphors and that don't age well, and you sit there going, oh, why'd I say that? But even sometimes with the album that I put out, I go, why did I do that? But at the end of the day, it's cool. So
it's interesting that you say you kind of left your vocals for 4 a.m. because I was speaking to someone once and they were like, I always record like just as I've woken up because he liked the way his vocals sounded then. Was that part of it, or was it the emotional state you were in at 4 a.m.?
Well, I think it's a bit of both, but it was, I needed to get all this production done by a certain time, and I'm always someone who produces everything, then records vocals over the top. And the way I was working, it was 12 hours of production, then, okay, I've got so much creative energy, let's just sing on it. And I think I got about 6 noise complaints. Because it wasn't, if you ever listen, you know, if it wasn't little whispery Billie Eilish things, they're little...
I can imagine your neighbours were like, shut the fuck up.
And it was a tiny little apartment complex, and people right there, and the walls of this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Far out. So do you like to have your track first, then focus on lyrics and stuff? But do you like to just sit and write lyrics as well, not necessarily just for like something that you've created for a track and stuff?
It sounds a bit contradictory. I swore against doing that.
Against what?
Just sit and write lyrics.
Why?
I hated it. I started off doing that, and then that's when the metaphor started, and then for the album I just produced everything first, and then went and sang on it.
So you almost felt like that you were just speaking in these like metaphors when you would just write it down, but when you would like hear a track and like listen to it, then it would come more natural and less contrived.
Yeah. But then I did that. But this new song, I've gone back to
Okay.
writing the lyrics down first, and it's just.
Oh God. It's just terrible.
But that's why they're so simple, I guess.
That's so interesting. I feel like most artists like love to write and journal and like pour out their heart.
Oh no, I hate it. I hate it.
But maybe is that something you need to confront as an artist? Like, are you almost like going in your comfort zone of not doing that?
Well, maybe I've heard that writing lyrics down and writing thoughts is very therapeutic.
Yeah.
And that was a very therapeutic question, to be honest. But maybe honestly, I've got so many excuses. But one, I can't read my own writing.
Is it bad?
Honestly, it's another language.
Are you one of those people who write really thin and long and it just looks terrible, or like really like elongated fat letters that just look terrible?
I mean, it's a bit of both. Have you ever tipped over a garbage can or something?
Yeah.
It's like reading that, really. So yeah, one, can't read it. Two, my hand hurts. All these little reasons why I don't want to do it, but. Yeah, I feel like with writing lyrics, you kind of overwrite. And with my songs, they're getting shorter and shorter and shorter. So if you have an 8-bar verse, you can't then go, oh, I really want to keep this in here. You kind of have everything set out for you.
Work smarter, not harder. So do you produce a lot, or do you like to collaborate with mixers and producers?
That first album was all me.
Okay, wow.
But the new album, I don't know what it's called yet. But all the songs are there. But they were more collaborative. I had a few people from Canada.
Oh wow.
America. I got a rapper from New York on one of them. He's sick.
Do you connect with people through Instagram? Is that how you find your collaborators? Like. Yeah,
I mean, the rapper. He's through Instagram, but that was maybe 4 or 5 years ago when we connected. And it just felt like the right time. A lot of them is just sending random emails and seeing what comes back. That's why that's what I preserve my time for instead of writing lyrics down. Sending emails.
Contacting people.
Yeah.
Do you find that tiring as an artist to like be like, listen to me, like validate me, love me?
Every day. It's just, because I have a good friend of mine and he said being a musician is like a full-time job with no income.
Yeah.
So you're writing emails and someone asks you what you're doing. Oh, just sending emails, and people think, oh, it's just sending emails, not doing much. But you're sending these personalised emails to all these different people and you're going, please listen for one, please read this. And then you just get left unread the whole time. You just, so many people, you send 50 emails a day and then you get nothing back. So.
Yeah. Do you feel like you manage rejection well?
I do now. Maybe 2 years ago, I'd really take it to heart when, some YouTuber was going, I'm making a record label. So you send off an email, you don't hear anything back, and you kind of go, oh, well, that sucks. But now it's just, you can't understand what people in that industry are like. You just, unless you kind of, someone either tells them about you or you just persist, they're not going to notice. So.
And I feel like at the end of the day, it's networking, and it's like the more people you know, the better. And I feel like people really demonize networking, but at the end of the day, you've got to play the game.
Yeah, well, I see a lot of people. I mean, I know a lot of musicians, and they're sitting there going, "Oh, why don't people care? Why don't people want to support? Why don't people want to come to the gig? Don't listen." It's just, well, maybe the artist themselves is not doing enough to promote it, and I've done that before. I've fallen into that trap before of just expecting people to care, but at the end of the day, no one owes you anything to make music. You're making music because you want to, and whether people are on board with it, it's not up to you. So
was there something that kind of clicked? Like, was there a moment that clicked for you when you realized like you can't make music to just expect people to then love it? Like, did you find some kind of like, oh, you know what? If I love my music, then nothing else matters. Like, did you have one of those moments?
Yeah.
Or?
I mean, with Sweet Beautiful Music, sounds very inwards, but I made it for myself. I said, I want to make music that I would listen to, and with that 80s sound, and grew up listening to that kind of thing. So it was just, let's see what I can do. I'm gonna enjoy myself. It wasn't enjoyable most of the time, but it was the end of the day, it was a nice experience. But yeah, I mean, I made it and then put it out. It wasn't I made it and then I'm going to start teasing people with it so they get really excited. It was just, here it is, album's coming. If you want to get excited. And it's the idea that if people care enough and they go out and listen to it, they'll enjoy it. But if they don't have to. But another good friend of mine, he said, just if the song's good enough, it's just going to work eventually. And a lot of people are looking for that instant payoff, getting put on a Spotify playlist or something. But if you just have a good song that's kind of underrated, people are going to love it a bit more than top 40.
Yeah. Well, and I also think it's really, like, obvious when you hear something that was made because the person actually liked it themselves, but, like, I feel like there are so many top 40 songs where you listen to it and you just think, this person probably fucking hates this song that they've made, even though it's making them, like, millions of dollars. Yeah. It's like, you just sell your soul for that paycheck.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind a bit of that paycheck. Yeah. I sell my soul a little bit. Just, yeah.
Yeah. And with, so you mentioned that you made that album really fast as well. Is this just something you're going to do forever, is just make music really fast, put it out like straight away? Or do you feel like at some point that momentum would just not be like possible?
I mean, the album came out and I got told by so many people to stop.
What do you mean stop?
Just to take it easy. Because
Why?
I'd go weeks without eating properly or sleeping properly, and they just go, you're not going to be able to sustain this. So
right.
Album came out in December, and then up until
and was that because of the stress, or because you just, when you're in the zone, you just don't take care of yourself?
Oh, a bit of both. I'm stressed, but I'm in the moment, and then in the moment I don't really concern myself with myself. It's just, let's just get this done. And it's the same way this time around as well.
Is it also part of the tortured artist?
Oh yeah, it's the image.
Cliche.
It's the he's got tattoos. He smokes cigarettes.
Do you have tattoos?
I do.
Oh god.
They're just honestly, they're irresponsible, and you should never get them.
They're so irresponsible.
And they hurt really bad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I have one regrettable one.
Oh, is it a boomerang on your ankle?
No, dear God, no.
A dolphin?
No.
Oh.
It's the word laughter on.
Wow.
I got it when I was 18. I regret it. Bad choices. Mm-hmm. But again, it's not a dolphin or a boomerang, so I don't regret it that much.
Infinity symbol.
Or an infinity symbol.
Laughter, eh?
Yeah.
I might get that next. Laughter.
Well, I actually want to put a red S so it's slaughter. Or do like a what's the one where it's like you turn off the lights and it's like glow in the dark? You can do that with tattoos.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So I'd get an S, so then when I'm clubbing, it's like slaughter.
Wow. What kind of club do you have to go to for that to stick with the crowd?
Probably something really dingy.
Probably something underground, I reckon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like going out much, or are you a recluse? Do you stay inside a lot?
I have moments. Maybe in January, a couple of my friends, especially one of my good friends, Sebastian, we went to the pub for 14 days in a row.
Why?
Oh, it was just something to do. And then...
just part of the musician.
Yeah. And I don't think we've gone back since. So...
Oh, so you had that 14-day bender and thought, you know
That's
what,
it.
just reel it
Yeah.
in. Do you ever kind of look at other musicians and how they treat their bodies and think, oh, I probably shouldn't go down that road? Or do you sometimes feel like yourself you've like led down that path and no return kind of thing?
Well, it's bad. Sometimes you see a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
But marijuana's a big thing. But I don't smoke that.
No.
As much as it seems like a nice life. Yeah, I mean, it's just part of the story. It's part of the tragedy, I guess. Yeah. Oh, I got hammered at a pub for 14 days. It's just that turns into a song.
But do you think I actually usually think it's kind of bullshit when artists say that they write best when they're like fucked up. I actually think that they don't. but I'm all here for someone to disagree. Do you feel like you write better when you're sober-minded or a bit fucked up?
Well, when I'm not sober, I don't have the attention to record anything.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, unless it's by myself and I'm sitting there, with the glass with some spirit in there that you think you're in a movie or something.
Whiskey.
Yeah. It was gin for a while, but then
straight gin.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Or you put in your coffee.
Oh, gin and coffee's fine. Yeah.
See, one person agrees with me. See,
isn't that a whiskey? Oh no. Isn't that an Irish coffee, or is that whiskey and coffee? Because I'm pretty sure whiskey coffee is like alcohol and coffee, but I don't know which spirit it is.
I wouldn't know. I didn't. It's not like I looked up a recipe for it. I just kind of tipped it in, So
yeah, that's true. You probably don't give a shit at 4 a.m. what spirit's going.
Yeah, well, being an artist, it's the idea that I don't give a shit about anything. I do, but it's the image. Yeah. But I don't know. When I'm sober, it comes out, and you kind of you speak about those times, and there's a new song on the new album that's just completely about addictions and things like that, and it's pretty raw, and it's nice to be able to look back on it, going, okay, I may not be completely past it, but at least I'm in a position where I can look back on it and see the difference. And I think I'm going to be addicted to something for the rest of my life, whether that be something illegal or whether it be that sounds really bad, but whether it be music
I mean, you're not the first artist to say that to me, so I'm not really that surprised, but it always concerns me when people say that.
Well, it could be music, it could be addicted to...
I mean, yeah, and people have said I've been addicted to running, so everyone's got their vice, I guess.
See, I get that, but I just wouldn't want to run for that long.
That's just very fair.
Bad knees, it's cold outside,
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I could get addicted to the music or the football.
Yeah.
Sydney Roosters. I'm addicted. East Leagues Club is 5 minutes that way.
I just couldn't... Sport to me is, like, so boring.
That really hurt.
Like, when I was younger and would have crushes on people, one of my biggest lies would be I love sport, because I just thought if I tell boys I love sport, they'll love me, it's a great deal. And it's such an unsustainable lie, because they're like, oh, what team do you go for? Oh, do you want to come and watch this sport with me? And I'm like, I don't even know what the difference between football, NRL, AF, I'm like, I don't know. So it just became this embarrassing, I just couldn't fall with the lie, because I didn't know what sport I was talking about at the end of the day.
Well, I feel like regardless of whether you're trying to impress someone asks you what team you go for, you just say Sydney Roosters.
Really?
Yeah, that's just...
But that's just because you go for them, so that's why you're telling me to say that.
Well, I can get you a membership. And then with the membership of the Roosters, you get free membership into East Leagues Club.
See, the only reason I associate sport with bad things is because the last time I went to a sports game, one of my ex-boyfriends, he left me there because his team lost. Right. So he was like, I'm just going to leave. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't actually think he was going to leave, but he just literally just left.
What team did he go for?
Like the Swans or something.
Oh, wrong game, but yeah.
See, I don't even know. You could be talking about the same game, different game. I don't even.
Red and white.
AFL, yeah.
Yeah. Sydney Swans.
What's Roosters?
That's NRL. Sydney Swans, honestly, they're all like that. Just AFL, don't bother. Don't bother.
I'll keep that in mind. Mm-hmm. Oh god, going a bit off track, but I love that.
Go the chook.
Have you ever lied to impress someone?
Yes.
Oh my god, do you use your music to get girls?
No.
Interesting. Someone told me that they had to decide whether they became an athlete or a musician to get girls, and they went with musician.
Maybe when I was younger, it was a big thing. But now it's more, please just like me for me.
Interesting.
Because...
So you think almost you don't want them to just like you because, oh, here's a musician, you want them to actually like you as a person?
Well, it's the cliche. I feel like if I say, oh, I'm a musician, I fall into a category straight away.
Mm.
And it's not that I don't want to define myself or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just, oh, he's a musician. Oh, okay, so he's going to be unemployed till he's 35. He's going to drink more than he breathes. And you're going to go to your boyfriend's gig at a pub which has 10 people every weekend. It's just, especially, I'm getting a bit older now, and it's not something that I use as a status thing or anymore anyway. And it just goes, I want to make music, and if you like the music, great, but I'd much rather you actually take the time to talk to me or get to know me. And the music to me is very much a separate thing. I don't sit there. Well, during busy times, it's very much the priority, but I don't live in it. I think
that's almost a good thing though, because I think some people get too attached to their musician identity that almost they can't also just like enjoy other aspects of their life. Like I think, yeah, it's great that you love music and you talk about music 24/7, but I also think that if that's the only thing that you find joy in, it's like a dangerous path to go down. And it also, I think, protects you from like feeling too butthurt about criticism, because like at the end of the day, people are going to criticize you now or in the future when you have more music. Like I just think if you're too connected to it, you can't accept any feedback or anything like that.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. I mean, maybe, like I said, under the other name, was living the music a bit too much, and then someone would say, oh, that's pretty shit, it'd be
freak out,
next 2 weeks just living in a hole. But now, the first song I dropped, October last year, whenever it was, super pop on it, like hand sanitizer pop. That's how clean it was.
Yeah.
And a lot of people didn't like it, saying, oh, it's too pop, I don't like it. And it was just, okay.
Was that friends telling you, or?
Some of it was going, look, I don't mind it, but it's a bit too pop. But I'd get anonymous emails or message requests saying this is shit. And then,
what?
It's just I'm not a person who's gonna who hit back and go, oh, what are you doing with your life? Because I don't care.
Yeah.
I just go, oh well, I appreciate you listening.
Yeah.
And that's it. You don't.
That's the thing. Like they gave you a listen at the end of the day.
Yeah, they probably didn't. They that's the thing. They
probably
they just don't like
you.
They don't like my face, and they go, no, you're shit. But at the end of the day, they got so upset that they had to tell me.
Yeah, it says more about them than you.
Yeah. Or maybe it's just poor songwriting. I don't know. But at the end of the day, it doesn't affect me at all anymore. It's just
that's good.
Whatever.
Yeah. So do you feel like in your new pseudonym, you can take the feedback, take the criticism? Do you feel like you actually like constructively use it, or do you kind of still feel defensive internally, like, oh, all these people can say like they don't like it, but I'm not changing it?
It depends on who's criticizing it.
Okay.
So I have a small circle of people that hear everything before it comes out, and that's maybe 3 or 4 people.
Okay.
And if three out of the 4 are going, this is great.
Yeah.
It's not, yeah, I know. It's, oh, I'm glad. And then the 4th person would probably, instead of shitting on it, go, okay, look, I get it, but maybe this, and then that's when the little adjustments happen. And so that little circle is really tight, and they, everyone hears everything. And so in terms of outside noise, it's not really a big deal, but with the people that I've chosen to send the songs to, if they're going, nah, it's shit, then I'll go, yeah, fair enough.
Okay. Which
I have done so many times before. And, because they'll just go, nah. I'll send them something going, what about this? And they go, nah. And I'll say, okay, thank you for listening.
Okay, wow.
And then, but if that's the thing, but when they really do like something, they'll go, absolutely, please drop this as soon as you can. So they're not just sugaring me up, which is good.
That's good, because I guess then you really know what's good and what's not so good.
Yeah. Kind of. Maybe.
Yeah.
Unless people like anything but my music.
What do you mean?
Well, if the music standard, or the standard for what a good song is everything but what I make, then maybe not, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. I will say, I really like your song Prisms, and I really like your song I Fucking Love You. And the reason I really like I Fucking Love You is because of this one line. It made me laugh.
I know what it's going to be. Yeah.
You already know what it
is. Yeah.
It's the 3 a.m. thing with the phone sound.
Oh, yeah.
It literally made me laugh out loud on the train. I really enjoyed that. What did you think I was going to say?
I was thinking, so you're talking about the, is it really common sense if I'm stalking you?
Yeah.
I was thinking about the one after it where it's going, don't ask me to be masculine.
Oh, I liked that, yeah. That's
yeah.
such a good line.
It's so stupid. That song is just what a meme is to me.
But I like it because it has so much cheek to it. Like, I just think people don't do that enough in pop songs. I will say that I don't know if you've heard of her, but May Muller or something. She does a lot of like sarcastic, funny, witty pop songs about love, and it's just like, I just feel like it's a thing that's not explored enough. And that song for me was just like, I feel like that's what kind of made you stand out a bit, where it's just like you've got a bit of tongue in cheek, you're willing to like have a bit of, you know, a poke at yourself. It's just, it was funny, but I also feel like it was still powerful in the sense of like, you know, you fucking love someone.
Yeah. I mean, I knew that song was going to be a bit of a joke. Not a joke, but, you know, not taking it as seriously, but at least it wasn't, I fucking love me. I was singing about someone else.
Mean, that would just make you more punchable than...
Yeah, it's just, you know, I've already got a massive head. Why put a target on it? Do you know what I mean?
Was it about a specific person or the specific feeling of love?
I just really wanted to have a chorus that just said, I fucking love you, I fucking love you. Because you see it in so many TV shows or so many text messages, and you just want to... Because I'm not the biggest fan of referencing modern things into music. You know, you didn't text me back. I don't like doing that, but I just thought maybe I could break the rules this time. Yeah, I mean, that song is kind of about someone, but it's also, like I said before, you're kind of writing to a broader audience with it. And, yeah, there's so many memes in it. That little shit thing at the start. No one really knows this except for the people that know. That's my favourite artist in this world, Rick Astley. That's him saying shit. It's just so going funny. Shit, and then it comes in.
And I feel like he's the one... if you're going to make a meme song, he kind of has to be in it, right?
Honestly, I think about him all the time. And he is my icon.
He's pretty amazing.
He's actually a really good singer. You go watch his live videos, he's actually really good.
And I do feel bad that he has become the sum of, you know, one song.
Yeah. I mean, to me, he's not, because I've listened through all of it.
Yeah, but most people...
But, yeah, fair enough. I mean, but that never going to give you up such a track.
And it is a good track. Like, if there's going to be a Rickroll, like, I'm happy that song is the...
Yeah.
Never gets old.
At least it's not... Yeah, like you said, you know? Yeah. Just... At least it's that song. And he's, you know, he's such a good-looking man.
He's a good-looking man.
You know, you wouldn't expect it, but now he's kind of... Not sure what hair colour he's got now. It's kind of dark.
Yeah, because he had, like, ginger hair, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the natural progression for people with red hair? They just eventually go...
Grey?
Yeah.
I think, like, anyone, they go grey, right?
Yeah. Because that question of, if you could have dinner with, you know, 6 people, dead or alive, I'd just have Rick Astley.
Okay, so you're a super fan.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I dress like him. And...
I mean, you do dress a bit more old school, I will say. Yeah.
I think I sing like him. I wish I sounded like him.
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of see comparisons.
Yeah, but he's him, and just him.
Just him.
And maybe the whole Roosters team, Sydney Roosters, go the Chooks.
That's a very weird group of people right there.
I mean, I'll be starstruck by all of them, so it's all good.
Do you have any other favourite musicians, or is it just all about Rick Astley?
Well, my life right now is all about Rick Astley. But growing up, it was very much Michael Jackson, Prince, Toto. And then, you know, you got the whole guitar player phase, which I'm kind of off. I don't like being a guitar player, but
Why?
Oh, it's just the community. Just
What's
the guitar player community.
What's the community?
Well, the guitar player community is run by one god, and his name is John Mayer.
Yes.
And everyone on Instagram says they love guitar, and they love all these different guitar players.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they only like John Mayer.
Yeah.
But they're saying they like all these different people because they don't want to be exposed for only liking one artist. And it's just, no, I'm playing better than you. Oh, I spent 15 grand on one thing, so I'm automatically better than you. And it's just this very high school 14-year-old boy kind of
I did not know the guitar community was so annoying.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. It's a guitar community, but at the end of the day, no one else cares about it.
No.
But they're posting, oh, look at my new gear. But at the end of the day, you know, you're posting, if you've got 1,000 followers, you post to all these people, and only about 10 people are going to really care.
Yeah.
And yeah, so if someone asks me, do you play guitar? I kind of say, sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
If I could play guitar, I would be like, yeah, I'm so cool, I can play guitar. But that's probably because I'm not in the guitar community.
You never want to be. You never ever want to be in the guitar community.
I think the only tune I can play on the guitar is like Adele, Someone Like Me, or something.
See, that's
Someone
enough.
Like You.
That's enough. You don't need to. You don't need to learn anything else.
Yeah. No riffs or anything.
Yeah, because Adele just rules everything, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you play one Adele song. But the thing is, though, you put a cover over it up or something, and then all of these bot guitar accounts are just going to comment on saying, oh, I would have done this, I would have done this, I would have recorded it with this, and then ran it through this, and it's just no.
That's just so nasty. Even I saw this girl, I can't remember who it was, but she posted a comment on her YouTube video, and she was like playing guitar and singing, and someone was like, yeah, you sound okay, but also I wouldn't have chosen to wear that outfit. And she was literally just in shirt and jeans, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, some people. I just wonder how upset you have to be by someone wearing a shirt and jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, do I understand it? I don't think so. But I'm sworn off jeans.
Why?
I don't know, just trousers. Trousers, much better.
To fit in the old school vibes. But jeans are old school, so I don't know what you're on about.
Different kind of old school, I think. You know, I feel like if I wear jeans, I'm automatically kind of sitcom-y, and I don't like it.
Sitcom-y?
Yeah, you know, you're dun 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 dun, you know.
Oh God, don't tell me you're a Friends fan.
I'm a huge Friends fan. But...
Because you're sitting across from a Seinfeld...
Seinfeld?
Fan.
So, with Seinfeld...
Oh God, here we go.
Isn't it just about nothing?
How long have you waited to say that?
Because I haven't met someone who is a Seinfeld fan but not a Friends fan. I've always...
What? No.
Always had...
Really?
Well, I don't go out much.
Because I would say most Seinfeld fans hate Friends,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of Friends fans dislike Seinfeld.
And that poses the question of, do Seinfeld fans' friends hate them because they like Seinfeld? I'm just asking a question.
I've had people in my life they've had to cut me out, yeah, because of the Seinfeld stuff.
Well, that's really sad. That's really sad.
I can't get my head around Friends. I just never did. I found it too corny.
Yeah. But then I don't know. Maybe I'm being too 14 about this. And going, oh yeah, that's me. Watching the show going, yeah, that's me right there. But yeah, I mean, I reckon I watched it from top to bottom about 14 times.
I mean, I can't judge because I've probably done that with Seinfeld, to be honest.
Everyone talks about the bass line in that Seinfeld track. I don't know. It's a
great track.
It's just a bit too compressed.
But I just love, because to me it was very left of field to go with something that was so funk.
Mm-hmm.
Like for that show, it just felt so random. And then there was one time that they tried to add these like vocal effects in there and like have these vocals, and they did it for one episode, and I can't remember the music producer for it, but he didn't tell the show people or anything, just put it in there. And NBC got so angry. They were like, no, like, we'll axe the show if you don't remove those vocals. Like, it was very bad. But so you can only one Seinfeld episode, you can hear these like boop bars, like.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So Seinfeld kind of rested on backing vocals. That's how. Is that how?
Is that how they stayed on air?
Yeah, I mean, because Friends was, was a hit not straight away. Back in the day when I was watching it.
Yeah, no, I don't think Seinfeld was definitely not a hit straight away. It took a few seasons for the show, because it was about nothing, and people were like, what is this garbage? Like, I don't get it. It's weird. These people are horrible. Like, how could you watch this? Whereas Friends, it's like, these are lovable people. They're not bad people. I mean, sometimes. Ross is questionable.
Yeah.
Do you think they were on a break or what?
It's a coin toss, that one.
Surely you don't think, like, he cheated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. I hate when people are like, no, they were on a break. He was allowed to do that. Like, no.
Well, yeah. Well, to be fair, out of all of them, Ross is probably the one I care about the least.
Yeah.
Because he just seems very very, very insecure about a lot of things.
Yeah.
Especially being male, man,
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I agree with it. I don't like it when it happens, because I always think, those two belong together. And I am a rom-com fan. I like romantic movies.
Oh yeah, what's your rom-com pick?
During the lockdown when I was making the album, I had the desk with the monitors.
Yeah.
I had a TV next to it.
Yeah.
And I'd have Notting Hill on it all the time.
Oh my god.
Julia Roberts. I don't know.
She's
cool.
stunning. No, she is.
Notebook doesn't really tickle my fancy, to be honest.
Really?
It's just kind of all Ryan Gosling, and he did, for me to appreciate a man.
Yeah.
He can't look that way.
Why?
'Cause, you want my idea of what a very handsome man is very different to what Ryan Gosling is.
What's your handsome man?
The most handsome man on this earth is Cillian Murphy.
What's he in?
Peaky Blinders.
Oh, he is very good looking.
With the eyes.
Yeah.
Like blinker lights.
Again, a very I feel like that's like a very old school look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With the face that can cut through anything, and
like sharp jawline and everything. Yeah. Okay.
He's cool. Yeah, just him.
So did the rom-coms kind of help with the music production?
Yes,
then?
actually. That's Sweet Beautiful Music, the actual song.
Yeah.
It has that big scene in Notting Hill.
Yeah.
Where he goes at the end at the press conference, where he's going, oh, this Thacker, blah 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 blah. It's actually in the song. There's a room recording of it in there, and you can just hear it.
I like these little is it eggs? Easter
eggs? Yeah.
That you've kind of put throughout your. Is this something you're going to do with the new album? Or not as
yes,
much?
Actually,
okay.
The new song, Stay a While, coming on Friday. It's got some little bits and bobs.
Okay.
But nothing that is that obvious. But
I guess that's how you kind of put your uniqueness. Even if people can't hear it, it's like you still kind of are like, I feel connected to this. It's like I've dropped these things in there. It's like a part of me.
Yeah.
And like no one else like maybe knows that I've done it.
Yeah. I mean, with this new batch of songs, it's all going to make sense, those Easter eggs. But with Sweet Beautiful Music, I had a little train sound from when I was in Japan. Rick Astley saying shit.
Yeah.
Quotes from Notting Hill. There's a Peaky Blinders audio clip in one of the songs, but it's actually so low in the mix that you probably no one will ever hear it.
So really, these could all just be lies and.
I mean, I could send you the stems if you want. I could send you the track.
Proof, yeah. I actually need proof of this that you actually did that. So.
Yeah, the song called Silver Screen Daydreams.
Yeah.
In the bridge there's a character called Arthur Shelby, and one of the classic lines of By Order of the Peaky Blinders, it's in the bridge.
There you go. I have to re-listen to the whole thing now to make a note.
Maybe it's just a way to get more streams. I don't know.
Yeah, that's actually really a smart conspiracy theory there.
Mm.
And I noticed with your vocals, you kind of are willing to be more feminine in your vocals.
Yeah.
Do you do that intentionally? Or do you just feel like that's your natural tone to kind of play into that femininity of your vocals and stuff?
At the start, when I was making music for the first time and singing, I had this really deep kind of...
Yeah, because it kind of peeked through a few times in some of your songs where like you would suddenly go really deep. And I was like, oh my god, his voice sounds so different.
But I actually hate the sound of it.
But it's nice.
I can't wrap my head around me going blah, blah the whole time.
But I think it adds a nice contrast.
Yeah, I guess that's the only reason why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
It's just to serve the song, but yeah, I mean, I do prefer my whispery kind of. There's a few deeper, quieter cuts on the first album that it's just very, very light, and I prefer one because it sounds better to me, and two because it's a lot easier to mix in.
Yeah.
Because when it's just you're kind of blowing out a lot, and your pitch is pretty dodgy. But
yeah,
it is from a logistical standpoint of it's easier to work with, and
then your deeper register.
Yeah.
Why?
Just get more control.
Oh, okay.
And I was never a singer growing up. I kind of had to learn myself. And
okay. Through a singing teacher or
just
taught yourself?
Just keep doing it.
Okay.
I feel like with the indie scene now, it's just if you can hold pitch, you're a singer.
Yeah, which is concerning to some degree because there are a lot of shit singing. No offense, people, but there's just a lot of garbage out there. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten that before. So.
What, really? People criticizing your voice?
Just don't sing, man. Just play guitar.
How do you sound live? Do you reckon you're pretty good, or do you feel like... I think this is such a horrible question. Do you feel like you sound shit live?
There are nights where I sound awful. And I know, and I hate when people say you sounded good, because I know that I didn't.
Why didn't you sound good?
I can make an excuse. I could say, the speakers weren't working. But a lot of the time the adrenaline kind of doesn't translate over properly, and you kind of just shaking and overwhelmed a bit. But maybe the last few gigs that I've been doing, just a bit more conscious of things. We played a gig at the Lansdowne where I had actual monitoring in.
You didn't have monitoring at other places?
Well, I had the foldback speaker in front of me, and it's just, you just hear screaming people.
Yeah.
And then just bass and hi-hat, so you just can't really zone in on it. But when I had the innies in, it was just fine. But the voice is a bit different from the recordings, where it's just I have so much adrenaline running through me. All the vocals are just going to be a bit more powerful, but I don't really like the sound of it.
I think finding restraint while singing live is so... That's actually when I did vocal lessons, I think the best thing I learned was how to sing live and not go overdo it, because you just, the amount of the adrenaline, the excitement, you just want to sing, it just doesn't come out the way that you kind of want it to.
Yeah.
So finding that restraint is really important.
It's the thing I worry about most. Just doesn't matter because I'm not playing guitar live, so it's just I'm singing. And it is pretty much the only thing I have to worry about. But
do you have band members?
Yeah.
Okay.
But all of it's on backing tracks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just go up there by yourself?
No. So the band members are acting like they're playing. But at the end of the day, all the saxophone and all the guitar and the drums are just through the speakers.
They're just paid actors.
But when the drummer hits the drum, it's just a bucket.
Where did the sarcasm
derive from? True.
I'm kidding.
It's half true. A lot of my vocals are through the track.
Okay.
But that's for a reason.
Do you get stressed with tracks live? Because I feel like some artists get stressed that it's like not going to go right and...
Oh, I mean, maybe at first, but now I can't do a gig without it.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of doing a gig with just rock and roll, you know, pure.
Do you feel like that's because your sound design kind of relies on the layers? Yeah. It
would sound, honestly, the gig next Tuesday, if we played all the songs without tracks, it would just be some chords through a keyboard and drums and a guitar and vocals. It'd be so boring. So just to fill out that space. And it's not I'm not relying on it to sing.
That sounded defensive.
But I am relying on it to sing.
I think there's nothing wrong with saying that you rely on it to sing. I think
everyone does it.
I mean, some people would probably argue that they don't do it.
Well, then you go and see them live and you go, all right. Yeah, I love that. I'd love that 17-minute guitar solo. It's so great when the tempo changed from really slow and then it got really fast. You know, at least with this, we sound exactly the same as the studio recording and we don't speed up. That's my defense.
Do you think when people go see live music, they want it to sound like the studio recording?
I mean, if I'm going to see a big artist, obviously there will be differences with, you know, guitars and things.
Yeah.
But I want to feel the songs I love the loudest I can and the most powerful it can be.
Yeah.
So instead of going, oh, why are they playing this song this way? It's, oh, this sounds exactly like it, but just bigger. And I feel like that's the intention with what we're doing.
I do sometimes get disappointed when I hear artists live and they don't do the same notes that they do.
Yeah.
It's like, I get why they don't, but it's a disappointment. Because it's like, you just want to hear them do those big notes, and then when they don't, you're like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, they you know, we might do this when I get a bit older, but dropping the songs down a few keys and then just cutting it short, or, you know, extending it to the point where it's just, can I sit down and go to the toilet for a bit kind of thing. So we're just trying to avoid that, and with the songs, it's very much 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes. And it's just a lot simpler. You just go in. I've got a lot of security going in now. I just plug in my ears and I'm set, and I don't have to worry about, can I hear myself? Am I going to be pitchy? You know, I've got a click track and the backing track, and that's all I need. So.
Do you get nervous at all, or are you pretty confident on stage?
If it's for something, it sounds really bad, but if it's something important, I get really nervous.
Aren't they all important?
Yes. Yes, they are. But I mean, if I'm playing to... It does also depend on if I'm doing a gig in front of this many people or this many people. Yeah. It's just... If I'm playing in front of a big crowd, I actually get less nervous. But if it's
less intimate.
Yeah. It's just... I just want to have a rowdy night. It's just... I want to see all these people, and this is excitement. But when it's 10 people and they're stood 10 meters away from the stage and you just kind of head down the whole time, that's when I really feel it, and I hate that. So, I hate it.
That is very fair. So, this single, you're planning on also doing an album next. Is this single going to be part of that album? Okay. When's this next album coming?
Well, most of the songs are done.
How long did this one take?
2
days.
I burnt out after the last album
really?
for about 3-4 months. So maybe the end of April I started writing all these.
That's very recent.
But it's not many songs. It's only,
how many is it?
I think 6 or 7.
Okay.
Something
so it could be an
concise. EP. Is it an EP?
I think... Oh no, an album's 8. Isn't it? 7 to 8 songs or something? Anything less is probably an EP.
Oh, we'll see. I might add some interludes in there. Some 30-second silence interludes. Just to make it 8 songs. Yeah.
Well, it was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you for having me.
It was very fun, very funny.
Go the Roosters.
I'm never going for the Roosters.
Go the Chooks.